imagine money, but with no faces on it, no kings, no emperors looking back at you from the gold.
It sounds strange now, doesn't it?
Totally. For centuries, almost everywhere, that was just, well, unthinkable. But near the end of the 7th century, one ruler actually did it.
A radical move for the time.
Exactly. And today, we're going to dive deep into that story, the fascinating history of the Islamic dinar, and specifically, the huge coinage reform started by Caliph Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan back in 696 CE.
It's a fantastic topic because before this, early Islamic coins often just, well, they copied the existing Byzantine money.
Right, complete with the emperors and crosses and everything.
Pretty much, yeah. It was more like an economic carryover, not something distinctly Islamic at first.
Okay, so that sets the stage perfectly. Our mission here for this deep dive is to figure out why this massive shift to image-free coins happened.
What messages it was sending.
Exactly, and how it worked practically, day-to-day, and maybe touch on why its effects are still felt, even surprisingly, in European currency history.
It's got quite a long reach.
So let's kick things off. What really pushed this redesign? Why would a ruler purposefully take his own image or any image off the very symbol of his power?
That's the core question, isn't it? And the answer is, well, it's deeply tied to both religion and politics.
Okay.
In the late 7th century, there was this growing trend in Islamic art, generally moving away from depicting people or animals, especially in religious contexts.
Why was that? Fear of idol worship.
That was a major concern, yes. The risk that figures, especially powerful ones, could be mistaken for idols. So Abd al-Malik's reform wasn't just about aesthetics. It was a deliberate, you could say, profound political and religious statement.
A break from the past.
A very clear break from those inherited Byzantine imperial traditions and a strong emphasis on core Islamic values instead.
So it's a really stark difference then. You go from these Byzantine lookalikes to the, well, you call it a clean text-only standard. What was the impact of it?
It was huge. I mean, think about it. The earlier coins, as we said, showed emperors, crosses, crowns, standard imperial imagery.
The familiar stuff.
Right. Abd al-Malik's reform swept all that away. It became purely about emphasizing the religion of Islam, the Arabic language, and the unique authority of the Islamic State itself.
Not about the ruler's face or family line.
Exactly. It shifted the focus entirely away from the person to the principles and the state.
That symbolism is incredibly powerful. But what about the practical side? Beyond the message, how did this change things for, actually running the state? Day-to-day stuff, governance.
Yeah, the practical side is just as revolutionary, really. It raises key points about efficiency.
How so?
Well, the new coins had very specific things inscribed on them. The Shahada, that's the basic declaration of Islamic faith.
There is no God, but Allah Muhammad is his messenger.
Precisely. Plus specific verses from the Quran. And, crucially, the date, according to the Hijri calendar, the Islamic calendar, and the name of the min where it was made.
Okay, so lots of information, but textual.
All text. And here's the genius part, practically speaking. No images meant no need to constantly update the coin dies every time a new ruler came along. No faces to change or erase.
Ah, I see. Much simpler minting process.
Far more efficient. Streamlined. And this text-based model, it proved incredibly durable. It lasted across many different dynasties, long after Abd al-Malik.
That efficiency makes sense. But it also raises another question, thinking about the wider world then. How did the big power next door, the Byzantine Empire, react? They suddenly see their emperors and symbols vanishing from coins used in huge territories.
Yeah, you can imagine they weren't thrilled, right?
Probably an understatement.
Definitely. And we actually have historical accounts of a direct clash over this. The Byzantine emperor, Justinian II, apparently protested quite strongly. He wasn't happy about his image and the Christian cross being removed.
So what happened? Did Abd al-Malik back down?
Not at all. His response, according to the sources, was basically, "This coin stays as I struck it." Defiant.
Wow, that's drawing a line in the sand.
Absolutely. It cemented their independence in terms of coin imagery, imperial messaging. It turned these little pieces of metal circulating everywhere into powerful mobile declarations.
Like tiny billboards for Islamic identity and unity.
Exactly. A form of mass communication completely free from that foreign Byzantine influence. It was a real act of asserting visual sovereignty.
It's amazing how much meaning could be packed onto a coin. Did this philosophy, this sort of image-free, text-focused idea pop up elsewhere during Abd al-Malik's time? beyond just the money?
Oh, yes. It's not just isolated to coinage. Think about one of the most iconic structures built in his era.
The Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem.
Precisely. If you look at the inscriptions inside the Dome of the Rock, particularly around the base of the dome, what do you find?
Don't tell me. The same inscription.
The very same Quranic verses and declarations found on his new dinars. It's incredible. Script literally becomes architecture.
So it's a unified message across different state mediums.
Completely unified, reinforcing the exact same principles, whether on gold coins or monumental stonework.
It really sounds like this set a powerful precedent then. How long did this influence last? Did future Islamic states stick with this image-free model?
They really did. It set a template that proved incredibly enduring, widely adopted for centuries.
Across different empires and regions.
Yes. From the later Umayyads who ruled in Spain, all the way to the Abbasids based in Baghdad and beyond. They reused and replicated this basic text-only model almost universally for their gold and silver coins.
Wow.
And get this, even when paper currency started appearing in parts of the medieval Muslim world, centuries later.
They still avoided images.
Meticulously. They used bold Arabic calligraphy, intricate geometric patterns sometimes, but no human figures. It shows how deeply this idea became embedded in the whole concept of money and authority.
Okay, that's fascinating. But here's maybe a surprising question. Did this distinctly Islamic approach, focused on text, have any kind of echo, however faint, in Europe centuries down the line? They seem like such different worlds then.
It seems unlikely at first glance, I agree. But yes, arguably it did. Subtly, and over a very long time.
How so?
Well, European coinage obviously kept its images for a long time. But think about trade. Those Islamic dinars and dirhams were major international currencies, especially around the Mediterranean.
So Europeans would have been very familiar with them.
Extremely familiar. And the sheer success and stability of these text-only coins might have perhaps subtly shifted perceptions. It demonstrated that words alone could signify immense value and authority without needing a ruler's portrait.
Planting an idea, maybe?
Possibly. And later, much later, when Europe started experimenting more, you see some interesting parallels. Think about certain early banknotes, maybe from Italian city-states, or even early British paper money.
They often focus more on text and official seals.
Exactly. Text, serial numbers, promises to pay, symbols of authority, but not always portraits. So, in a way, Abd al-Malik's design, emphasizing the power of inscribed words, was kind of centuries ahead of its time, demonstrating a principle Europe would eventually explore in its own way.
That's a really unexpected connection. It makes you reconsider the flow of ideas. So, stepping back, if we try to summarize the core statement being made by every single one of those gold dinars, it's clearly way more than just a design choice.
Yes, absolutely. It wasn't just decoration, not at all.
It was theology. Politics.
All of that. It profoundly reflected Islamic theology, the emphasis on the oneness of God, the avoidance of potential idols. It acted as, you could argue, a form of decolonization, resisting that Byzantine visual culture.
And a tool for unity.
A powerful tool for political unity across a diverse and expanding empire. Fundamentally, it shifted the focus. It emphasized Allah's ultimate sovereignty over any human ruler.
So every coin was like a mini-sermon and a state decree rolled into one.
That's a great way to put it. A tangible statement of faith and governance carried in people's pockets, not just a way to buy things.
Incredible. And thinking about today, the modern world, are there still echoes of this nearly 1,400-year-old reform? Does this tradition still resonate?
You definitely see echoes, yes. Many modern Muslim-majority countries, when they issue special commemorative coins, for instance.
They often use calligraphy or symbols, not portraits.
Very often, yes. They might feature famous mosques or verses or national emblems echoing those early designs. You also see it influencing things like digital logos for state institutions or even national branding efforts sometimes.
So that image-free tradition, or at least a sensitivity towards it, still informs how visual identity connects with religion and state.
It does. It underscores this really deep historical lineage, a continuous thread back to Abd al-Malik's time. And really, if you look at the big picture, Abd al-Malik's reform wasn't just about creating a new coin design. It fundamentally changed the whole visual language of power expressed through money.
It established a new way for an entire civilization to communicate its core values on its currency.
Exactly.
So when we wrap this all up, it's such a powerful reminder that money, currency, it can be so much more than just how we buy and sell things.
Definitely more than just economics.
It can be a canvas for belief, right? A declaration of independence from foreign powers, and a lasting symbol of a shared identity.
Well said.
I mean, just think about it for a second. No faces, just faith proclaimed. No foreign emperor, just unity under God. No ruler's image that might be seen as an idol, just words, inscribed forever on gold.
A simple design, visually speaking.
Deceptively simple, but with revolutionary implications that, as we've seen, still echo today. What's one thing that really stands out to you after diving back into this? What should our listeners maybe ponder?